All right, so here we go. Let's work through this together here real quick. Not that one. What did I call it? Treehouse Challenge 2. So first off, I'm just going to give the header. Since everything's in the header, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a font family. Sans serif. Set this up. What did you say it was, 500? Just going to copy that line. Box shadow. All right, so then we want to give the width. Yep, we want to do the container, right? So this is all straightforward. Container, you can do width or max width, just it doesn't matter because we're at this screen size. So I'm just going to do a width of 970, or I can do it, it doesn't matter, 1020. Margin, what do we want to do for the margin to center it? Zero auto, beautiful. All right, so we're starting to see some stuff come along. And then, where do I want to put the where do I want to put the display flex? Yeah. So for the first one, just to get the unordered list or the nav and the H1 to split display flex. Where do I put it on? For this code, what do I put it on? We put it on the container, right? Because we want these two child elements to display
Which two child elements?
the H1 and the nav, right? We're going to want to push them to the sides of the screen, right? So we want to do it on their parent element, which is the container. So we do display flex on the container. And then if we come over here to, what was it, CSS, tricks, flex, box, perfect. All right, so the main axis by default is a row when we do display flex, right? The main axis is by default a row, so we want to find the property for the flex container that makes it so that on the main axis it pushes it, it puts a lot of space in between it, right? So we have space between, and if we look through this, we see this justify content, right? This is the main axis. So justify content, space between. So we just do justify content. And if you all have trouble seeing this here, sorry, keep forgetting to do that, right? So we have display flex and justify content space between on the container. You load the page, and they're pushed to the edges, right? All right, so now, Paul, I'm getting you involved here. We want to do flex. We want to get it to display in a row for these list items, right? So what is the parent of the list items?
The nav.
So what's the immediate parent of the list items?
Unordered list.
Yep, the unordered list, right? Just picture this as like a family tree, right? So we want to do just we want to do UL.
So you want to make the flex act upon the unordered list.
Right? Exactly.
And since it defaults to the horizontal, you don't really need to sweat that. Well, designate anything regarding that.
Perfect.
Now we want flex to act in a manner that allows those to be all spaced accordingly within that container element or within that block.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. So at this point, though.
That's the nav, isn't it?
Yeah. At this point, though, since we didn't determine like a width for the nav,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So like so since we didn't determine, I'm sorry, not the nav. since we didn't determine like a width for the UL, right? The only width it is the width because of the content in it, right? So that space between wouldn't work. Whereas the reason why it worked for the class container is because we declared the container to have a certain width, right? So to give it space in between them, all we need to do is like give the, well, I'm going to go ahead and do it to the clickable region itself, the anchor leak, but I'm just going to give it like a padding of, I don't know, 20 pixels, top and bottom, I don't know, 20 pixel, well, 25 pixels right and left. Let's see what that does. Oh. And I'm going to display, I'm going to see how that padding top and bottom didn't do anything. See that, guys? That's because I did it on the anchor tag, right? And what is the default display of an anchor tag? Display of an anchor tag. It's an inline element, right? So that's why it's not doing the push. So if I change these list items to be block, now you see the padding come in effect, right? Top and bottom. That's what I was trying to get across the other day, and I think I did a better job now than I did the other day of explaining that. See that? So now we'll just give the same, so I'm going to give the H1 the same padding, at least padding top. So now it's all on the same line, right? So a couple things I can do. How do I need to style that H1? What was it last time? It was like, I can just copy all of this, font size. Ooh. And then we'll give these text, actually, text decoration none, right? And what was the color? Anybody remember? For the link, the green gray one. 989E. All right, and then we'll do like Julian did, and we'll give the H1 and the UL, the last list element, right? Last child. A color of
5 FCF 80.
All right, so as simple as that. Does that make sense to everyone?
So if you're not going to utilize a column at all in Flex, you don't have to denote row. It just is the default.
Right. So the Flex default Flex direction is row.
Left to right.
Yep, exactly. So a couple reasons why I did the padding with the A is if you did want to, give a little, like, it increases the clickable region. So say you wanted to hover, you could just do a background color, and I'm not, right? So you see that?
Explorer window half the width, but at least on my computer, it's becoming like that border thing is becoming a nav bar. It's not happening very much.
I think you're on their site.
No, I'm on ours.
What do you mean becoming a nav bar?
It's becoming like something that you can click on and scroll with.
I'll have to come look at that. I'll come look in a sec. All right, so make sure I'm at the right. Yeah, so real quick, I'm going to push this. So if you want to look at that. And just a real quick challenge, and I forgot that we were doing this challenge because I kind of just gave you the answer. Anytime, this will be like a 5-minute challenge. Anytime you scroll over one of these list items, right, I want the background to be that shade of green that we have on here, and I want the color to be white, the font color to be white.